DeepSeek feels like it came from out of nowhere. For those in the know, how long has this been something that has been percolating and worth paying attention to?
Well, this particular company, this particular model, I think for a lot of people did seem to come out of nowhere. The company hasn't existed for all that long. The model and itself comes out of a quant firm in China. And some of the tactics that they're using, the way they built this model, a lot of it does sound like what some of the biggest companies are doing to build their models right now. So a lot of the techniques that they're doing are things that people in the industry are familiar with. It's just the speed with which they appear to have built it and the low cost and the limited access they would have to the best chips on the market would also make the performance that they appear to have come up with really astounding. And I think that's what's getting a lot of people to pay attention. These models have typically been so expensive to build. If somebody can build them quickly with less money and with fewer of the high-power chips that a lot of the companies on the market like OpenAI and Anthropic and others are relying on, then you could see where that would make some investors a little freaked out.
Right. This definitely raises questions on whether U.S. restrictions on advanced semiconductor technology to China even makes a difference if DeepSeek was able to build out this chatbot without access to that technology. Is there any way that China managed to get a hold of that technology regardless?
That I'm not sure about. There are also, I mean, if you can build these systems in different ways, if you need to make your systems be more efficient, it appears they may have come up with some ways to do that. Also, let's keep in mind that just because you have fewer chips doesn't mean you want fewer chips. I think that having access to lots of high-power chips is still going to be a game changer for these companies in many ways. If you want to, you can't just train a model, you also have to offer it to people. And that also requires chips and computing power.
Right. And Rachel, there was a headline this morning that indicated that DeepSeek is restricting new signups to people with a Chinese telephone number based in mainland China. What does this tell you? Is this significant?
It's a little bit unclear, to be quite honest, what's happening there. I think, if I recall correctly, that they were saying there had been some sort of malicious activity that made them feel they had to do that. So I think, to be honest, we might have to wait a little bit to figure out what's going on there. They probably saw a huge surge in signups over the last couple days as their app, in particular, skyrocketed on App Store charts, but they might feel right now that if they have too many users, for instance, coming in at too quick of a time, they might need to restrict things just so they can get a handle on all those new users.